Yo, 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 what's up, Kwanza Global family? Back again with another episode 27. Sorry, y'all, for the little delay in the drop, but we always bounce back, we always here. Keep trying to stay consistent, and we got y'all with these weekly drops any way we can. So, yeah, we back with episode 27. And you guys can see by the title, we're talking about composure. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard this word before and know what it means. And can understand, what that word means. And essentially, the reason we're going into it is because of its importance in life, in everything, every situation that we go through. Because in there's times where we'll be put under pressure, So, what's the Webster or Oxford definition of composure? So, it's the state or feeling of being calm and in control of oneself. A similar word we can use is self-control, right? Calmness or calm, tranquility, serenity. Being cool, level-headed. These are synonyms for composure, right? So, why is it so important? Because we go through a lot in life, a lot of things. We're under pressure to succeed, to do well. We're under pressure to make a decision. These are just daily things. Think about high school. You got your peer pressure, even peer pressure. That doesn't just stop in high school. As you grow up, people will peer pressure you. Oh, just go out with us. Yo, let's go have a drink. Let's go get wasted. It's like, yo, you've been working all week. There are things that you may not want to do and you're pressured to, and you have to have that self-control, that to collect yourself. Being cool, calm, and collected, you have to be able to collect yourself and really understand: is this really what I want to do? Am I doing it because of what's influencing me to do it? Something's influencing me to do something that is not really appropriate. It's not really what I understand that I should be doing right now, or I should be participating in. You know what I mean? Where you're not really acting out of one's own control. All right. So that's the self control. It's not like you want to do so with peer pressure for with the example that we just gave. Like, if that's you're not going out of the way to make that decision, but people are telling you, it's like, yo, let's go. It's like, it's like, it's like, bro, it's like, what's wrong with you? It's like, you acting like real weird right now. Come on, let's go have a couple of drinks. Like, you know what I mean? That's not, and that's not really what you want to do anyway. That was not really that's not really a choice that you make on any occasion, to really just drink and just go, and lose your mind kind of thing. So, and then when you go ahead and do that, you can essentially say you're losing your composure. You lack composure. You lack that self control, right? You lack that because you're not really, you don't really have that, you know, that self control that allow you to say, you know what, this is not me. This is not my space. This is not my environment. This is not my type of choice or decision or thing that I choose to do out of my own, uh, volition, out of my own, I'm not intentionally wanting to do this. I just feel like if I don't, people's perception of me, or people's idea or thoughts of me are gonna be like negative, right? Just because I decided not to do what I don't feel is right, or I don't feel, or I feel is, I'm being forced to do it, or if I don't do it, I'm not, meeting someone's, expectations or wants, right, or hope, or I'm not, I'm not being fun. I'm not being, acting, how everyone else, uh, you know, sh- acts, or mainly acts, or not fitting in, right? So you're not, you're essentially just following orders. You're just following what you think people will uh, accept as being the right thing to do. You know what I mean? When you're going out, it's like, oh, you have to go. It's like, these are your coworkers, these are your friends, right? Or these are your people that you are around. So it's like you deciding to make that decision not to engage in what 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 is reckless, kind of behavior, just kind of like just losing it and everything. That's and you deciding that's not what you want to do and doing it anyway. That's clearly an example of, yeah, lack of self control. You haven't gathered up that composure to really say, nah, I'm good, man. I'm a I'm gonna holler at y'all when I holler at y'all. I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. That kind of thing. But it comes in different ways. Composure is needed in various ways. That's one example that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. And as far as just kind of being in a moment where you have to exercise that need for composure, that need for self control. It could happen with any. It could happen with dealing with people, strangers, people that you don't know, really. People that you see from time to time, but it's not like you guys are friends, or it's family or anything like that. You may see them from time to time. You might see them often, maybe because of your job. You just see them, or uh, you live in the same neighborhood. You see certain people, but you don't really know them like that. They're still strangers. And then there's people you just haven't seen ever, right? At all, like complete strangers. Like they're not even familiar to you. So there's different cases like that where you have to maintain your composure. Maybe an interaction with them doesn't go smoothly for whatever reason. They tell you something, they say something that is out of left field, that is without any facts, without any basis, without any, um, you know, without any really merit, or they've taken things out of context, or they've let their emotions get the better of them. They've let whatever is going on, with them, however they feel, they're putting it on you, and they're just telling you, they're upset about something, whatever. You know what I mean? That interaction doesn't go well with that person. And in those instances, it's kind of like there's certain instances where you know what I mean. You have to. There's levels to it. You know what I mean. It's really. I feel like it takes experiences, and to really understand what to do in certain situations. Experiences. These are things that you just gain. And it becomes wisdom for you as you go on in life, where it's like you understand how to deal with certain people, deal with certain situations, understanding people, period, where it's like, all right, there's clearly something going on here, you know uh, and part of composure is to take um, yourself out of it, where you don't even take it um, to heart, or or you're very slow to anger. You know what I mean? So you're there, you're assessing the situation as it's going on. You're really breaking it down, you're really understanding, you're really taking your time here. And you just do your best to really address the situation head on. And it could take different roles. You could be really assertive. You can be really calm and relaxed. You can be very you know you know you could be you could be it takes on different roles. That's why I say with composure, it's not one type of look, but you can be very firm, assertive, and direct and honest about, you know, telling somebody something and really correcting them, or making sure that they're that they've you know that, that you diffuse the situation, you diffuse what's going on, you really handle what's going on, in the most you know reasonable way that one can. You can do that in slightly different ways. You know what I mean? It could be really, depending on, again, it depends on what it is. It can be really smooth with it, soft with it, and there's times you can just be really assertive with it and really uh let them hear it. But you could do it in such a way that's really that really makes them think, that really makes people think, and not and not step over you. You understand? So it's not, having composure doesn't mean that you're kind of you're relaxed to the point that you kind of don't, that you're kind of just whatever. You don't really engage. No, you could have composure and engage the situation, the the pressure, whatever it is that you're dealing with, head on and direct, and really handle it, appropriately, and deal with it, real solid. But it doesn't, that doesn't mean you're what I mean. It's not you kind of backing off. It's not you backing off, but it's you understanding that, all right, I don't have to punch this person in the face, right? I don't have to punch this person in the face right now, or I can't punch this person in the face right now. Depend, you know what I mean? Any, I can't do that. Like, I can't go around beating people up because they just talking reckless, or they, they're really, getting out of hand, and they're really overstepping their boundaries, especially when it's someone you don't know at all. Like, you don't know them like that at all. And it's like, all right, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Where you could really, get out with them, or you just start cursing them out and stuff like that. So really having your composure is really, you understand, all right, I, there's no, I can handle this. I can handle this. This is, but it takes wisdom again. I can handle this without necessarily cursing this person out. I can handle this without really laying hands on this person. I can handle this, right? I can, having that composure, it involves, uh, wisdom, that's gained, through through God, you know what I mean? Through God, like literally, like God will give you the wisdom as you go on, to handle, cases where you begin to understand, despite what your emotions are telling you at first, despite how you're feeling at first, where you feel like kind of just, all right, or you don't even feel like, you know what I mean, uh, really doing what your initial reaction is, again, like cursing that person out, or really just, starting an altercation. It takes, it takes those experiences, you know what I mean, for that to happen. It takes those experiences, and it takes experiences where you kind of just, maybe you didn't even know how to approach it, and you kind of just reflect on it, and you kind of think about it, and it's like, I could have said this, because again, it's not about backing off or letting people kind of just, nah, you want to address it, you want to handle it, but in a way that is very, I don't know, like, um that is, again, exhibits, self-control. um um yeah, there's just, I mean, I think a perfect one is just in the workplace, in your job, right? Wherever you're working, whatever you do, dealing with customers, dealing with um, employees, dealing with employers, dealing with people in your work environment. Um, that is very, because in that cases, it's like you can't just, you know, you can't just go around, you know, saying this or saying that, or you can't do that. Um, you can't do that. You know, like simply put, you can't do that. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You you haven't you understanding the space you're in. It's like, all right, you know what I mean. Like you're not like also understanding that is also part of self control. Understanding we're not outside, but even with that, understanding that, um, even when you are outside, even having that composure, it's not even like about switching it on and off, where it's kind of like, all right, since I'm not in my work right now, I have the time now, but there's ways you can approach it differently, right? Um, things in a certain way you're where you're not in a certain environment, so you could talk differently. You know what I mean? You could approach things differently in different environments, but again, it takes wisdom because there's certain things you just know. Um, this is not something that you just have. It's not a natural thing. You know what I mean? God really gives you this wisdom through life experiences, um, and and when you ask Him, to give you wisdom on just wisdom. Period. These are things that you then receive because there's so these type of things are not they just don't just happen upon. It's like, oh, this is what I should do here. It's like, no, you it's not a natural thing because naturally you just want to be direct, right? You just want to be straight to it and be like, hey man, you caught me on the wrong day, and go off, go crazy. So I mean, it's important. It's really needed for self control, composure. You can't go around, whether it's the workplace or outside, kind of just, you know, being so quick to lose your temper, right? You have to have that composure. You have to, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, now when you lose that composure, when you lack that self control, the things that happen to you, you know what they say, a lot of things, most things are what happen to us, you know what I mean. It's the way we react, that really makes the difference, you know what I mean. It's the way that we react that makes a lot of difference, because we can't control what you know people say or do, um, and we can't control what people say or do specifically to us. So understanding that is crucial to also uh, con- having self control, and really um, being you know being aware, and being understanding how it's important how we react, because I whatever that person's going through, I don't know. And whatever they said to me that offended me, or whatever they're trying to do to to get at me in some way, um, really has nothing to do with me, as far as their actions. Because at the end of the day, you're not, you know what I mean. You're not. You're no one's. Whatever someone does, whatever you've done, or whatever someone does, at the end of the day, whatever action you take is your action. So there's no you. There's ways. I mean, yes, there's always. I mean, there's of course there's reasons to there's a way, there's a justification for our actions. You know, for there's justification for our actions when people do something or say something to us. There are justifications for certain actions that we take, right? Um, Perfect example is just like self defense, right? Like if someone, you know what I mean. Someone's trying to harm you. You're gonna have to self-defense. You're gonna you're gonna have to react. You're not gonna just sit there. So you're gonna have to react, and there's justification for you, having to put hands on them if it comes to that point. Like, you know what I mean? If someone's trying to rob you, you're not gonna sit there and be like, oh, it's cool. You know what I mean? If you're in the capability of helping yourself and defending yourself, and someone's trying to rob you, and hey, you fight them off, and you give them a couple blows, and you know what I mean, and they get up out of there. That's justification for that. But my point is that you were not in control of them, choosing to make that, that dumb decision. Like, my point is, you cannot control how other people react, and knowing that should also affect how you react to how other people to when other people do or say things, because you're also aware that when people have done something that's not, or said or done something that's not, that doesn't sit right with you, that's wrong, right? You 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 have to understand that it's it's not like it's not you didn't it's not like you don't take it like, don't take every single event that occurs to you personally. All right, don't take every single event that happens to you personally, because it very well might not be the case, right? But it's not, and I think that clouds people's judgment, because it's like, all right, this is personal now, or they get in their feelings about it, and no, 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 this person is hurt right now. This person is feeling some type of way right now. This is why they did this, right? Natural reaction, you know what I mean? It happens to all of us, where the first thing we're like, all right, this is how I'm going to get back at this person. This is what I'm going to say to this person. But this is not the way to approach things every single time, because it's just not the case where people are just doing things to try to get you or anything like that. It's This topic is so great because it really involves you just knowing, you having gotten to that place in life where you know exactly, where you can even bring up examples your own self, because we all have our own experiences with this stuff, where you can really see where you natural, like, even after you displayed a great um ability for, self control, where you there was an event occurred and you just controlled yourself, and um diffused the situation. It didn't go so deep, right? And then later on, you think about it, it's like, what I really wanted to say, what I could have said, what naturally is going, I'm thinking in my head, and what I really feel like doing still is just, really letting that person have had it. I really shouldn't have, like, you almost kind of go back to, it's like, why did I even diffuse that situation? Like, I should have let them have it. You know what I mean? It's a natural response, but really understanding it, it's a really better feeling, a better life, a more peaceful, um, experience, when you realize that you literally controlled what you could control, and you took the situation into your hands, and you didn't allow it to go any further, allow this person's mood, bad day, or whatever was going on in their life, and them taking it out on you. You didn't take that personally and then allow, and then throw that back at them, because then it would just be like, you know what I mean? It's like trying to stop a bomb with another bomb. That doesn't make any sense. You're going to have a bigger explosion. So you can't you can't do that. You know what I mean? You can't. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's an obvious thing. So you can't. It's not. You know what I mean? And obviously, you're using energy that you could be using to do much more constructive, productive, and meaningful things instead of engaging in a fight or an argument or whatever it is, trying to basically get at this person when really that person is just dealing with their own. They're just, you know, taking what, they feel and really trying to project it on you in some way, right? So it's really, and it comes down to really understanding people, understanding human behavior, understanding how people are, understanding how we are. You know what I mean? Because it's not like these things are happening only to us, but they happen to other people too. So you have to understand that we're not living in our own world. You know what I mean? Because we could get caught up thinking like, all right, everyone's in my world. He's like, everyone's just living in my world. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. It's like this person's world and we just living in it. You heard that before, right? It's like nah, it's not. That's not how it works. It's not like everyone is just living in our world and how dare they come at me like that? This is my world. It's like no, you know what I mean. We all share very similar experiences and we all go through very similar things and we all have to learn from these experiences. And that's the main difference is some of us haven't gotten to the point where we've learned from certain experiences and can really get out of that certain spaces where we're not really um, doing what we should be doing in the sense that the way we and as particularly pertaining to this kind of not taking things personal, acting out, and all this stuff. These are things you again. It's not a natural thing that it's not like you just kind of just know. You don't get that. It's something that you get from. You receive that wisdom from God, and as you go on in life, these are this is what you receive. You receive this wisdom through God, and you really understand the how you how the way you should approach things. You know what I mean? And it's important to ask. You know what I mean? God for wisdom in just period because we need it in so many different situations, and it's important. And another great thing about self control is it allows you to think. When you don't have self control, you're not thinking, man. The first thing you want to do is talk, because and you're talking more than you're thinking. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're listening and just no, you're talking first. And you're talking again. So every other second you're talking. How is it possible you're actually thinking and assessing the situation, even taking yourself out of it and kind of being aware that maybe this is coming from somewhere else, right? Maybe this is not the argument itself isn't the issue so much as it's something else, more. It's not surface level. It's not just right there. It's kind of something more. We got to read between the lines. There's no way you could possibly do that talking a million miles a second. All right, million miles a minute. All that you can't. There's no way. So there's more. There's more you have to do, and that is think. You have to think about it. You have to think. You have to really understand what that person is trying to say. What are they saying? It's like, where is this coming from? What is going on? Trying to really get to that place, that, and with this example, that would be like if you're in an argument or something, right? What is going on here, right? Instead of kind of just trying to tell that person, just shut up, bro, or be quiet, really kind of taking that time to think. And in certain cases, just to, settle down, be quiet, not even say anything, and then later on, kind of just, I mean, and that's in the midst of you kind of just assessing everything and listening, and then later on you kind of come, and then afterwards you kind of just, collect yourself and really get back into, what is the real issue here, kind of thing. Um, and then other scenarios, just being quiet and just moving on, trying to can just be, something quick to do. So then you don't engage in something that really wouldn't have started if you hadn't said anything, kind of thing. So I don't know. It's well, I know, but this is also a topic where you also have to know from a personal standpoint. You know what I mean? So, me explaining it, is also from a person, from personal experiences, from my own, life, walking life, you know what I mean? And so it's not, there's no way this topic can be really said on a case by case basis unless we group everybody together and everybody talks about their own things that they remember, right? But at the end of the day, it's kind of just it's a life experience situation. It's a life experience, like a lot of things we really um, go through. It's really a life experience, um, you know, type of situation, type of topic here where we're like, to have that self control, you really have to be put in a position to really exhibit it. You know what I mean? To have, to really have it and know that you have it and that you can do that. But it's needed, cause it's just there's no. I mean, you're just not gonna go through life and not be offended and feel some type of way, and someone says something or does something that, you know what I mean? In whatever environment, whether it's work, outside, whatever you're doing, it happens. So to have self-control, composure is just, it is a priority.